Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to stream. I have a new setup for the ads this time, so they honestly probably shouldn't play at all. I only make a couple cents off the ads on streams anyways, that's not that big a deal. But should make for a better viewing experience. How are y'all doing? Wondrous, glad to hear it. Alright. Hello Megla, hello Goofy. Let's get right back into it. We left off with a pretty decent looking skull last time. I think we would just have to do the bottom jaw bit, but I think we should probably do the body this time. We should move on to the body parts and get it all blocked out. Maybe not in detail, but at least blocked out. Hey guys, hello Alexander. Can you look at my Mackenzie's Learning Lodge Minecraft at the end of the stream, somewhere sideways? Sure, if you post some screenshots or something. I'll take a peek at the end. Damn, I'd never be able to do something like that. Not with that attitude. You just gotta put your mind to it. And have a lot of time to mess up. Bro, that is not helping. This is not helping. We're doing a nightmarish version of Funtime Freddy, which, where's all the reference photos go? The only perspective? No. Are they hidden? Yes, they're hidden. There we go. That makes sense. That's what we're working with. So, I think what we should do is hide. We can actually hide all these again. And we'll get started on body proportions, which I want to kind of do a nightmarish, cartoony type thing. So I got a reference photo ready to go of Goofy. At least his old rubber hose design. Thinking we could do something with that. Scale, nope. Scale on the X, there we go. -1. Scale it up, make it about that size. Make it just a little bit bigger than the head. There we go. We did Helpy last time. Yes, we did. Helpy was kind of the warm-up, though. All right, this is where we're getting real with it. We're trying to make Freddy Fazbear, and we're starting with a skull. I don't even want to know what the end result would be like, because she's meant. Yeah, we're going for an interesting nightmare rubber hose monster kind of deal. All right, so let's get a nice body block out going. Subdivide that. Hello Mugla, hello Incorporated. Subdivide. And then I'm debating if we should do like, let's see how it looks from the front. All right, we want it to be kind of wide up top. Wide shoulders are a little more imposing. I want it to be like a, if I do it like that, it'd look kind of like, what is it, Mommy Longlegs or whatever from Puppy Playtime. We're not going for that. We're going for like sickly, bare, bag of skin type deal. Let's move this in. Scale it on the Y. Don't have to worry too much about topology because we're going to fix it all later. Scale Y. Alright, it's kind of like a somewhat of a torso shape. Although we're gonna have to bring this up. Make it all kind of curve a little better. We're gonna droop it with brushes, so I'm not too worried about the general shape right now, but That should be good. The two circular objects in Blender, the oldest joke in the book. Gotcha. Michael, you should low-key check what I drew later. We shall. I'll give it a little peep at the end of stream. Alright, now let's... Because we're gonna have to subdivide this a lot. There we go. Doesn't really look like a bare torso right now. Actually, let's widen it out a little bit, but... You gotta trust. It will eventually. Maybe just beefing it up a little bit. There we go, that's a little more broad. Alright, now we want to add the creepy kind of tendril bits, at least as a guide. Let's add curves. Curves will do it. Where's the curve at? There we go. Geometry, extrude. That's not what we wanted. Depth. There we go. Bag of chips. Oh, yeah. Alright, scale on the Y. 0. And if I remember correctly...
Ribcage Trust.
That's true. Actually, wait a minute. This could be like the skin bag. If that makes sense. And then we'll make a rib cage on the inside. That could be good. And then we'll like drape it on it with some physics. Do a little bit of physics. Physics aren't my favorite, but when it works, it works. So we'll actually hide this, and then now we'll build out. Nothing crazy looking, just something that... Yeah, no, we'll do a simulation because I want to ruffle it up a bit. But it just has to look rudimentary enough to be mistaken as ribs. Shrink it down. The back would be like right about here, which is where it would start. Just make this spine for now. Shrink down. Grab that, move that there. Similar thing here. Yeah, I'll probably do a pelvis too. I want it to kind of look empty, if that makes sense. Maybe you could model a human face into it, kind of like Warden's ribcage from Minecraft. Well, what I'm thinking is it's kind of going to be like a bear suit, almost, and we're going to have some kind of gloopy monster thing on the inside. So honestly, the face could go anywhere. It'll be very abstract on the inside, though. Okay, so now we can probably start... Well, let's make these a little less sharp. Tone that down. This one could be a little more sharp, but not so much so. It's good back. Alright. And then I don't want to subdivide that. So we'll just take like this segment, duplicate it, separate it, or not separate, rotate 90, bring it over there, down a little bit. This is going to be the start of our rib cage. Y. Fill that in, make it a little sharper. Not too sharp, but a little bit. Scale it down. Good. By the way, if you don't mind what I'm talking about. I think my chats are a bit delayed or something. I don't know, but you said pelvis and it made me laugh. Gotcha. Yeah, I have a little bit of a live stream delay, but that's just, you know, typical live stream delay. I think it's like 30 seconds, 15, something like that. Let's mirror this. Not that way, that way. There we go. And let's actually hide the head. Are we able to do that? Yeah, there we go. Well. Okay, there we go. And then the curve can go for now. What does the body look like? Okay, so we can make it a little bit wider. Rotate it down. And there you go. It's kind of rib-like. Glooby, groovy, so true. Could add found footage in my series? Hell yeah. I don't want a Japanese keyboard. There we go. Wish Windows had a more convenient option for that. Alright. Now we just kind of copy paste and shrink down a little bit. And I think that with this last bit right here, that's a pretty good rib cage. Although we'll actually have to fix the distance on it. Hold on. Although we're just going to be using this as a physics object to drape the actual body onto, so it doesn't need to look all that good. Grab those two. Grab that one. There we go. And then now we just need a semi-pelvis looking thing. Could we got into the can of his semi. Yeah, he's a little bony looking right now. Like, do you still like Power World? I don't think I ever did like it. Oh. Hi, hello. ATIF hater. Alright, let's sort of pelvis going. Just needs to be kind of like a bent disc. Needs to bow out, so we'll shrink it down there. Bring that out on the Y. Or wait. Yeah, there we go. Mirrored, technically. Those hips are a little wide. There we go. Bring the tops in. That looks like hips, kinda. Sorta, a little bit. Yeah, I think that works. Right, now we just need to apply everything and then merge all the points. Merge by distance. There we go. Now it's a completely clean model. Get rid of all the sharpness. This should be good for a simulation. At least the basic one. Let's do cloth sim on this. Let's actually make this way less like polygons. Alright, how many is that if I apply that? That's... Damn, only 15. Okay, well actually we can... Hold on, I'll do that. Let's give it another subdivision. How many is that? Okay, that's a little better. I think we can work with that. Bring that up a little bit. And do a simulation. cloth. We want like 10 for quality. We're only gonna need 1 frame of this. You guys have been one of the suits that's a spring trap. Don't go out in the rain. Whatever you do, you don't want to know what happens. Ducky, you need to get out of that now, dog. That's what I'm saying. Let's make the vertex mass like 0.5. Now, for those of you who have never messed around with Blender much, you might see all these values and think I know what I'm doing by messing with them. But really, the secret is I have no idea what I'm doing here, okay? You kind of just put numbers in for simulations and then bake it, and if it doesn't work, you delete it and you start over and you do it again. That's simulations. You never figure them out. You just trial and error them every time you come up to use them. Which one I always wanted to see what a spring lock Chica would be like. Wasn't it theorized that that suit we were in Sister Location was like a spring lock Chica thing or something? Or did we just like never figure out what that was? Honestly, not gonna lie, I keep forgetting Sister Location happened. Whenever I think, oh yeah, right. Hold on a second, I might be a little bit stupid. I need to add collisions. Let's collision. There we go. And let's do dampening. Or no, dampening looks pretty good. We'll just bake again. There. I'm the only one in chat. Untrue! The thing about Fredbear games is that it's either set later down the timeline or it's an alternate universe. Based on Secret of the Mimic, all the Springlock suits looked similar, so I can see it being Chica. Okay, so it was kind of like a base. Oh, right, yeah, because we got in the... Okay, yeah. So it could honestly... You know what? That honestly makes it more ambiguous, because it could have been any of them. If you think about it. This would probably have to be in Forgotten of Fredbear's, where Henry purposely made the animatronics evil. Gotcha. Waiting on a bake. This is 90% of physics work in Blender. You just guess numbers, you hit bake, you wait, you hit play, and watch this. It's gonna break horribly. It's not gonna do what I want it to do at all. Actually, it's not bad. Here, let's shade it smooth and then like subdivide it. Subdivide? That looks kind of like cloth. Although we're not getting as much of that rib as I want, so maybe here. We're gonna go back. We're gonna delete that bake. Get rid of it. Let's see. Let's make this heavier. Let's make it like 2 kilograms per vertex. Very heavy. And let's subdivide it again. Whoa! Go back to frame 1. Okay, there we go. It's fixed. Okay, and then from there... Air viscosity. I think we like that. Tension. How much the material resists stretching? Let's make that a little lower. Let's make it like 9. Compression. How much the material resists compression? Let's make that like 10. I don't know. Shear. Just leave those. How much material resists bending? Let's make that like 0.25. Let's have that. And see how that comes out. That one's gonna take a little while. Secret of the Mimic, wasn't there a Chica near the end? Honestly, not gonna lie, I don't remember. My brain is empty in that regard. In other regards too, but that one specifically. If I hit escape, it'll stop the current bit, right? It does, okay. Let's save this, see what that looks like. Okay, well, it needs self-collision, but I like that. That's a lot better. We actually might not even need... We can probably unsubdivide it. So if we go back a couple frames before it inverts in on itself. That's kind of like a baggy skin suit. We just need to shred that up a little bit. Get rid of all this stuff at the bottom. It's looking good. I might actually make it a little more tensed up at the front. But other than that... YouTube crash. Is that true for everybody? Is YouTube down? It says I'm connected just fine. Might be worth refreshing the page. Could be a YouTube issue. Alright, let's delete this big. Go back to the beginning. No, yeah, it might be just need cryphobia. You might need to refresh the page or something. Let's make it a little less heavy. 1.5. How much of resist stretching? Let's make it like 12. Compression also 12. And then bending will make 0.333. Ah, wrong value. 333. And then we need self-collision. Let's make these quality steps like 4. Nah, no, 2's fine. If we need more, we'll get more. But self-collisions, yes. Okay, now hopefully this doesn't freak out. I'm gonna unsubdivide or decimate. That's the thing. And then you unsubdivide from there. Let's shade this flat. 2 unsubdivisions. Apply that, go to physics, and bake again. I'll take a little sip of my water while that bakes. Lovely. Hydration check. Everybody have water. It's healthy for you. It's what you're made of, mostly. Alright. Escape that, and let's see what that looks like. If we shade it smooth. That's a little more leathery. I don't like how much it's bouncing, though. So maybe we should crank back up the weight. Delete. Wait. Back up to 2. No, that's 1. Make that 2. Let's keep that at 1.5, but then change gravity, I think? Yeah, let's make gravity like 5. Just crank up all the gravity. Bake that. See if that breaks everything. Was the character OC's origin, you know, the diver thingamabob doodle diddle guy? Yeah, he's the Abyssal Wanderer, and if you want to know the actual story, it's that I just think diving suits look cool and the ocean's kind of scary. But I do have a planned idea for after I do Mackenzie's Learning Lodge. and get that all wrapped up to kind of do a solo thing with him, at least as a character in it. Alright, we don't need to go that far. I don't even have the frame rate set. But, he does at least have a concept for a story that I have planned out. I want to do it at some point. If AFK means away from keyboard, does AFT mean away from tablet? These are the questions that we need answers to. Alright, yeah, adding gravity really helped. That's looking pretty bony. And gross. I kind of hate it, but that's good. When you're working with horror, if it seems gross and you hate it, then that's kind of the best position it could be in. Let's see.
Megla, I would pay to watch a series about the Abyssal Wanderer.
I appreciate that, but lucky for you, I can do it for free-ish, kinda. Depending on if you have YouTube Premium or not, then it wouldn't be free. But if you don't have that, then it's for free. Yeah, but once I wrap up Mackenzie's Learning Lodge, I definitely want to do some like oceanic horror stuff, and he's definitely going to be involved. A lot of fear of the unknown and stuff like that. Maybe even a couple life lessons involved in there. Oh boy, look at that. I love subdividing after I bake something. Let's try that again. Delete bake. Go back to frame 1. Bake again. It looks like a coin purse if you catch my drift. It looks saggy and disgusting. Yeah, it kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but it makes my mouth feel like if I were chewing on gum, you know? And like in a very bad way. Like, you know how, I don't know if that's just a weird way my brain is wired, but I feel like if I look at any object, I can instantly be like, yeah, I think I know how that would feel to chew on, you know? Maybe it's because, you know, we got all that programming in our brain from when we were a baby, you know? When you're a baby, you just run around, you just eat anything. Like, oh, a couple of pennies. I'll put some of that in my mouth. Oh, some dirt? Yeah, I'll just eat some dirt. Why not? Oh, a garden hose with a lot of bacteria in it? You know, life-threatening potential bacteria? Yeah, I'll just drink water out of that. That'd probably explain it, honestly. I think I'm onto something here. Just watch Winterland Incident. I'll log it in the back of the old brain vault. I have an idea for animatronic DJ Doug the dog. Hell yeah. Make your dreams reality. I joined the creators of Five Nights at Treasure Island and Oblatus Casa called the Radiance Team. Hell yeah. Man, I remember when that, was it Abandoned by Disney? I think that's what it's based on. I remember when Abandoned by Disney was like peak creepypasta writing. We should bring that back in the Great Meme Reset. Did that die out within a week? I haven't checked back in on it. I haven't seen much of it either, so I'm assuming it kind of didn't happen. Whoa! Okay, so subdividing it, not a good idea, apparently. Was it set up properly? Yeah, it was good there, and then it just broke. Okay, hold on. Right about there is where it breaks. I do want to keep this resolution, so maybe, hold on. Maybe, just maybe, we do a little better. Make it 2.5 gravity. And then on top of that, make this like 1.25 mass. Abandon my Mackenzie. So true. That's gonna be the squeakle. Y'all aren't ready for Abandoned by Mackenzie. Let's do that. See how we like that. Sadly, it failed, my friend said. I'm sorry to hear that. What do you taste like? Or at least, what do you imagine you would taste like, since you're on the topic of what things would taste like? Well, I don't necessarily know what things would taste like. I guess I should clarify. I know what the mouthfeel would be like. So like if I bit on my arm right now, I'm like, yeah, I remember like being a kid and like, I don't know, chewing on my arm because dumb kid. I don't even know why I would do it, but I did it. That sort of thing. So it's like, if you like, you look at like a quarter or something, my brain could connect to the thought of like, oh, that's like metallic and rough and cold. But then also just things that I've definitely never put in my mouth. Like a concrete sidewalk, I'm like, yeah, I could probably imagine what a concrete sidewalk feels like to lick, you know? I'd never do it, but my brain could imagine it. Mackenzie in the lodge, the road shit. Oh, hell yeah. Take the show on the road, dude. Make it a traveling band. Okay, does that break? That doesn't break, so we should give that time to bake then, so that it finds like a nice resting spot. That's kind of interesting. I don't know what's going on there. So yeah, let's delete the bake. Take all this, shrink it down just a bit, or no, on the Y axis, just a little bit, so we get more use out of our polygons. Bake from there, and we're gonna let this one ride all the way to the end. So we got time to chat. I can just imagine, like 20 years from now, we're just going to have like glam rock Mackenzie, except instead of beating up the other animatronics, it just shoots them with a gun. Yeah. Best point horror will just become like, what if I got shot with a laser gun? You know, we skip right to the punchline, really, with that. What do y'all like, drawing a paper or drawing online? Personally, I like drawing on paper. Would you believe me if I said I can't draw? At least not very well. You know, as you've seen on stream in my sketching of blocking out my ideas before I make it 3D. 3D is my wheelhouse, for sure. Have you watched I Know What You Did Last Summer? I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever watched it. Is that the one with the girl who like dies or something, and then she has to like help people figure out her murder or something? I think I watched like a review on it or something. I don't know. That's probably a different movie. Or no, I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's a different thing, isn't it? But no, I haven't seen it. Either way, if it's that, then I haven't seen it, but I've seen a review on it. And if it's not that, then I haven't seen it. Period. I feel like there's been some good horror bangers in the past. I mean, I don't know, about 10 years or so. What I did watch is oh god, what's it called? I just recently watched Bring Her Back. That's a good ass horror movie. It gives a lot of like Hereditary vibes. But it honestly, I feel like I connected with it more than Hereditary, because without spoiling anything for either movie, Hereditary for me just kind of ends and it's like, oh, it's this thing that I don't know about, but that's a cool connection. And then for Bring Her Back, it was like a lot more, there's more personal, like personally relatable motives to the characters, if that makes sense, without spoiling anything. It's when a group of teens accidentally killed someone and someone knows what they did and tries to kill them. Okay, yeah, then I have not seen it. Would you ever make a Five Nights at Mackenzie's game, or at least some sort of game featuring Mackenzie and the gang at some point? I'll gladly wait for 2028 to see that also. I can't believe it's already 2026, by the way. Endocopia Chapter 2 is out and it's coming this summer. Yeah, I mean, if I ever eventually learn how to code or find someone who I could make the game with that has the free time to do it, then potentially. But I don't know. Watch the Bean stream right now. What is the Bean stream? There's a Bean stream? I feel like it's crazy that this is my first hearing of something known as the Bean stream. And we're almost to the end of the simulation. Boom. Escape. There we go. Does it settle in a pleasant spot? Kind of. Like, let's see. Which spot do I want it at? Because this has the most, like, dramatic. Yeah, because that kind of comes into the center. So we can delete this bag at the bottom. And just go with, like, maybe that even. I mean, we can adjust it. Let's make it, like, right there. Alright, how many polygons is this? That's 22,000. Yeah, we can crank those numbers up. This is the Bean stream? Oh, hell yeah. I'm honored. Right as you say that, random stuff Cool Beans joins in the chat. Your arrival was predicted in the ancient tablets of 5 minutes ago, commenting how this is the Bean stream. Welcome. No, you're the Bean stream because it looks like a saggy bean. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Alright, we can apply the cloth sim now, and so now our model just looks like this. We're gonna have to smooth that out probably a little bit, but we can decimate by unsubdividing twice. We do have that rib shape, but I want to make sure that we don't have too much to deal with here. Apply that. We'll start deleting stuff. We want to get rid of faces. There we go. Make it kind of like a ripped out stomach. I don't want to see through everything. There we go. That's a little better. Been learning Blender for a couple days now, and during those times, I've been doing renders. But question, how do you add another model while you currently have other models in Blender right now? Well, if you want to add a separate object, all you really have to do, it's the same principle as adding another mesh. So as long as you're in object mode and not edit modes, like this is edit mode. If I were to do stuff here, that changes what it looks like. And if I were to try and add something like this cube, scale it up, subdivide it, I don't know, take this corner, move it, and then go back to object mode, that's all one object. But if I wanted to have a separate object, I just get out of edit mode, add another object, and now they work completely separate of each other. So they're not the same thing. Hopefully that's helpful information. Okay, let's smooth out a bit. Smooth. Change the ratio. No, okay, hold on. What is corrective smooth, maybe? Corrective. Hello. Whoa. Okay, there we go. That's something. Well, see, that just kind of is useless. Mayhaps if I just select, or wait, select boundary loop. There we go. Scale it up a couple times, and then we just smooth this out. Whoa. Didn't want to do that. There we go. Brother, I crave the oats. Beans? true. Let's just smooth that out a little bit. Alright, that looks a little more natural now. Although we need a hole for the front of the ribcage, so let's get on that. Get to faces, remove faces. And then we can not do these ones. Is that all clear? Yep. Alright, cool. And then maybe we do a second simulation? Potentially? I mean, worth a try. Give it a quick little save. Claw sim again. Although we want to do these boundary loops. Hold on. Select boundary loop. Where's the thing? There we go. Smooth it out a bit so it looks a little more natural. Grab everything, Alt S up, just so that we have room to work with here. Or hold on. We want to solve this whole area here. Or I guess yeah, we can Alt S, and then Control plus. There we go. Think smarter, not farter. And just scale it up completely. And smooth that out too. It's a little better. It'll figure itself out. I trust. Start drawing DJ Doug now. Hell yeah. Who's this character? We're doing kind of a nightmare version of Funtime Freddy. So this is like a bear pelt over a strange ribcage right now. Maybe we have... Yeah, let's have the ribcage actually go up a bit in terms of what's torn up. Or maybe not all the way, not that far. We'll figure that out actually after the second simulation. Oh, that look good? Yep, okay, bake. Oh god, that's going faster than I feel like it should. Let's see what it looks like. What did it do? That isn't bad, actually. Oh, right, because I unsubdivided. Exactly. Okay. Well then, yeah, let's just bake it. And see which part looks the best. It looks alright. Does it look better than just default? Not really, honestly. We can just leave it at default. We'll paint on the cloth stuff. Do cloth brushes take into account collision objects, actually? That's an interesting question I have not thought about. Sculpting. Simulation. Let's say I tried to poke you inward. Well, it doesn't seem bothered by the collision object. Pull you in. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to care. Okay then, good to know. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and see myself out so you guys know the time. Alright, see you later, Alexander. This is your job, not my primary job, but I do make money from it. And the more money I can make from it, the more it can be my primary job. Potentially. Let's multi-resolution. Multi-resolution. Subdivide. Subdivide again. One more time. Alright, now it's a heavy model. Sculpt, we'll leave that to 3. How does that look in this view? Okay, so that's a bit much, is what I'm hearing. Delete higher, subdivide up until 2. does that work? Still heavy. Okay. How about 1? Still very heavy. 0. Yeah, well, 0 works clearly, but it's not what we want. Okay. Alright, we'll make do with 1. Boundary. That's not what I want to do. How do I take the whole boundary? It doesn't want to do the whole boundary. Alright, well, fair enough. Whoa, okay. That's not what we wanted to do. Just destroy my work. Yeah, out there into the abyss. That's not what I wanted. Oh boy. Okay. Not quite what I want. That's better. Let's make the size bigger. Man, we should symmetrize it. Hold on. Y-axis. There we go. Alright, it's helping a little bit. Smooth's a little too strong. How do I... General smooth strength down to like 0.2. There we go. It's pretty good. And if we go up to 3, we can make these bones a little more prominent. Scale that down though. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Although, yeah, there we go. We can give it a little bit of scoliosis. There we go. There we go. That's making it look a lot more like a creepy, freaky spine. Perfect. That's looking pretty good. In my humble opinion. I hate that. I hate like it. I think we can get rid of that now. Or we can at least hide it. Sculpt. Shape. There we go. Conform base. Modify the base mesh to conform to the displace mesh. That's what we want. There we go. And then I must attach the skull. True. Let's get all of this back in render view. Actually, no, we don't want this one. Bring all of that back to reality. And it's like a weird alien looking thing. Very good. Let's scale this up. Or let's bring both of these back so that they're scaled up together. Lovely. Now, what do we want with a goopy bit? Could do like a profile. So this was good for a physics base, but I don't want it to actually be what we see. So we could probably just make like a weird lumpy goopy thing on the inside. We won't see too much of it anyway. Or we can make it like shadows. Or I could do like a smoke simulation on the inside. That would actually be pretty cool. So, yeah, let's hold on. Let's see what that looks like. Save physics. Fluid. Not collision. Flow. Flow type smoke. And then add a domain. Apply scale. Fluid. Domain. How does that look if we just bake it off the get-go, see what it looks like? Line metric. Do I have to do it on the object itself? There's hit play. Oh boy. Yep, that'll do it. Play every frame. Yeah, it's not really doing what I want it to. Alright, no, it's kind of doing it. So it produces smoke, but just in the wrong way. Density. -1 per temperature. Will that make it go down? Yes. Let's make it like -5. Yeah, there we go. That's kind of more like what we want. Okay. And then in rendered view, I assume that just looks like nothing right now. Yeah, we need to make it look like something. We could do that one later then. So for now, we'll get rid of fluid. And get rid of domain. But I'll come back to that idea later. What's the story of Mackenzie's Learning Lodge? I can't tell. It's a secret. You gotta figure it out. Hands and neck. Yeah, we gotta do neck next. Yeah, I get it. Neck next. Got him. We take that. Put it like that. And that. Put it like right there. We're able to. I think there's a way to like deform something to a curve. Determine how to build the curve bevel geometry object. Okay, so then let's build like a weird screwball looking tentacle thing. Let's make it right on the X. Am I able to do vertices? Okay, yeah, there we go. Unsubdivide. How do I do that? It's gotta be somewhere. Modifier, we'll just do decimate then. That doesn't work. Okay. Well, then I have to add a circle properly. Mesh, circle. Vertices. Let's have that. So 32, 16. Just to see how it could look. Bring that back on the X. Bring it up. We'll do X, Y. Does that? Yeah, okay. Smooth. Cool. Take all that. Mirror. Or now we can just use math. Bring it on the x-axis. 0.5. GX 0.25. GY 0.25. Duplicate. GY minus 0.5. Duplicate. GY 0.25 and then GX minus. Then we take that and use the screw modifier. Y, no, Z. Screw, make it a little bit longer. Screw angle 360. Sure. Looks pretty good. Is there a way to get rid of the stuff in the center, though? I mean, I could probably just delete the stuff in the center. We'll do that. So this one you don't see all the way up until that one. And that one you don't see all the way up until that one. Or no. Yeah, you don't see any of that. Cool. And that. Alright, is that all the internal ones? I think so. And so now screw modifier for that. There we go. And we're using less polygons. Beautiful. Let's make it like... let's make it 2 iterations. That'll work. Grab the borders of this top bit. Pull it outwards. No. There we go. Then do the same at the bottom. Beautiful. That's kind of strange looking. Random question, would you let Wolfgang shoot an apple off your head for $5,000? I don't think I'd survive to collect it, if I'm being honest. Especially considering he doesn't have any eyes to shoot with at the moment. That would be a bet I would not take. Only if he likes you. I mean, I suppose so, but also he can't see. If he can see, then I would become best buds with him beforehand. And then let him do it, but otherwise, I don't think I'd let him do it. Okay. And then we change that to object and make the object that. We make the What is wrong? What's going on here? What am I missing? What am I doing wrong? Bevel object. The name of the curve object that defines the bevel shape. I did this wrong. Well, no. Okay. Well, I know there has to be a way to puppet that. I mean, I guess, hold on. The easiest way to do this is we just take this. Scale X 0, scale Y 0, control shift V, control, hold on. How do, Blender, time to Google. How to change spline curve, or No, not spline. Bezier type. Oh, it's just V. Okay. Well, that'll do it. That answers that question. B. Automatic vector. Automatic. Does that turn it back? Nope. That's not. Oh, right. There we go. Well, that's not what I want, though. Aligned. There we go. Now it's set properly. Okay. So then... Where's set? Or right, we have to be in this mode. Set origin to geometry. Set origin to geometry. Snap selection to cursor. Oh boy. Same thing with curve. We'll make that visible through anything, potentially. Is that possible? Visibility. I don't know. It doesn't particularly matter. Alright, snap cursor to, or selection to cursor. Scale this down. We'll just hide the skull real quick. There we go. And the tongue. Which one's the tongue? Tongue, which one are you? There we go. Scale that down. Hide that picture of Goofy. Scale that up to the top. Boom, perfect. Yeah, a little bit smaller. He only likes Richard. That's fair, actually. When do you estimate the next video for Mackenzie's Learning Lodge will be out? Sadly, it's probably going to take a decent bit longer to get out, just because now I have a full-time job, and so that takes up a decent bit of time that I could spend animating. But I am still working on it in my free time, so it will come out. Just gonna take a while. Let's see. Okay, so then we need to hide this. Subdivide. There we go. V for automatic, then aligned. We need to set a hook. Hook to new object. Hook to new object. Hook to new object. Okay. So now when we move this, that moves the curve, which is exactly what we want. Then we move all that. Okay, cool. And then bring back. Where did it go? Did I delete it? Where did it? Alt H. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's circle. Okay, well, that'll do it. Hide you, hide you, hide you. Hide all of these pictures. Who's the character who's making terrifying? We are doing Funtime Freddy right now. Your series ever blows up more and gets famous, would you consider making merch of your characters? I know they did it with the Walton Files, and I think Mackenzie's or Lila plush would be sick. For sure. Yeah, if it ever gets big enough that I can justify making a plushie line, I'd definitely do that. For sure. Okay, so then parent. Can I parent it to Bezier curve? Curve deform. Oh boy. That's not quite what I wanted it to do. Ooh. Let's try that again. Apply all transforms. Apply all transforms. Nope. So we need to undo a couple things. Hold on. Apply all transforms. There we go. And then now we hook things, and that'll fix it. Hopefully. I pray. Control hook to new object. Control hook to new object. To new object. Let me take this. I want to change what these look like real quick. Hold on. Display as sphere about yay big. About 0.4. Same, we'll just copy to selected, copy to selected. Does that work? Good. Circle, parent that to Bezier. Curve deform. That's really not what I want you to do. Follow path. Nope. Parent to object, keep transforms. No. What am I doing wrong? I'm messing up a step here. Maybe... Wait, hold on. This could be me being stupid, which it would not be the first time. Let's make an armature and set that up as a proxy thing. Because I don't think it'd be better if you could just do it as a curve by default, but whatever. It is what it is. And let's just subdivide that a couple times. We'll make it 9 times. Yeah. Yeah, we'll make it 9 times. Parent this. Nope. Control P. Curve deform. No. There's something here that I know you can do. Or wait, might be this. Add constraint. Is it spline IK? Like spline IK. Bezier curve. Yeah, okay. And then make that 9. 10. Okay. Yeah, 10 works. Okay, and then influence 1. Alright, and so now... There we go. Look at that. That does wonders. And then we just bring back in the circle. Where's the circle? Alt H. Hide. Get rid of all those from my view. Just posted DJ Doug Dog. Hell yeah. Alright. Alt P. Clear parent. That's why it was hidden. And then take that, parent that to the armature with automatic weights. And now when we take this, prepare for magic, boom. Whoa, okay. Well, hold on. It's not quite as magical as I was hoping. I mean, it works, kind of, a little bit. There we go. That okay, yeah, this end works better. For sure. Still not quite how I would want it to work, but it's better. It works kind of a little bit, somewhat, most of the time. Alright, and then, I mean, we only need it to work for the base bit, then we can set it up. however after. Yeah, okay. So then if I scale that up, yeah, that does that, and not what I wanted to. Get these. We can align it all. Honestly, that doesn't look right. Sorry, I was distracted drawing Doug. What are you making? I'm trying to make, like, the neck bit of this. Although, honestly, now that I have this done, I feel like I'm worried I may have just overcomplicated it. Yeah, this might have been a case of over-engineering. Yeah, I think I over-engineered it. That's alright though, because that means that the solution is a lot simpler than I thought. We'll just get rid of the Bezier, get rid of that, get rid of all these, and we'll just take this down, move it there, and we'll just sculpt it. Grab. Grab that. And then do, where is inflate? There we go. That's deflate. Oh, wait. Doesn't have the wrong normals. Yep, has the wrong normals. That might have contributed to it not working well, but either way, doesn't matter. Normals, flip. There we go. Sculpting. Lovely. To come backwards a little bit. Inflate. Smooth out. It does add a strange twisty quality though that I like. It's kind of like the unknown's neck, which works for what we're doing with. So I'll just inflate that out. Y-axis. There we go. Remesh. Oh, that's right. We don't have the ends done, so we need to do that real quick. Damn. That's not what I wanted to do. Here, hold on a second. This is... We need to do it one at a time. Oh. Right, because we got rid of the thing. Alright, you know what? Just get rid of it. Start over. I backed myself into a corner there that was rough to get out of, so you know, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. I tried to get fancy with it. Didn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scale it down. Bring that up. Bring that back. Boom. Bada bing. Bada boom. There we go. Simple, elegant, it works. Doesn't take forever to troubleshoot. And we can just sculpt it from there. Let's put this back a little bit. Lovely. Bring up the subdivisions. Sculpt it. We can just add that swirliness on manually. Make it lumpy and gross and weird. Remesh at 0.29. There we go. Is that remeshed? It is. We need to get rid of, yeah, these two things, just so I can properly model all that. Lovely. Looking pretty good. I'll mostly just be seeing what's on the neck, so not too concerned about what's going on back here. We just deepen these a bit. Here we go. That's looking a little bit better. And we can just smooth it out a little bit. Bring up the strength again. There we go. Looks like a weird, strange, twisty neck thing. Alright. And from there we need limbs and stuff. And we can do the face cracks and stuff later when we retopologize everything. Alright. First, how long have we been going? About an hour and a half? Alright, we got time for some limbs. Mesh cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the goofy reference? There we go. I don't think we want it to be... Or no, we could make it somewhat like goofy hands and feet. Although we kind of got the bear corpse thing going on already. I'll make it like loose bear paws. That'll work. Have it come out and down through the ribcage. Mirror. Down. Probably have these come down quite a bit. Just bring these, I guess, inward a little bit, actually. Or we can scale it down. Make them thinner. We can give them like kind of weird bony joints. There we go. Lovely. And maybe we have them kind of come forward like weird little mantis arms. Not fully forward like that. Just a little bit. There we go. And then we're gonna have this be another bend. Or we can be, that would be like that. Yeah, there we go. Lovely. So you got some weird little bug creature inside of him or something. Well, we could have... Because I do want it to reach out. Actually, yeah, scratch that. We need to make them longer and crazier. Bring that back. And scale it on the Z. Bring it down. There we go. And then that's about the elbow. Yeah, there we go. That's better. We'll bend it just a bit so there's a joint to work with later. Cool. And then we can put hands on the end of it. Bear paw on one. What you call it? Bonbon on the other. How are you making? We're making a nightmarish hellspawn version of Funtime Freddy. Alright. We do a similar thing for the back legs. Separate selection. Rotate Z 180. Or, yeah. Kind of lines up. Scale it down on the Z. We don't have to rotate this as much. Here's bring them. No, not too forward. There we go. Horse-looking legs. Yeah, they'll look better once we get them sculpted and positioned properly and rig it all, but for now it's a little bit horse-looking. Alright, it's proper enough position. Sculpt that. Need to make that symmetrical, at least for now. Lovely. Should deflate the in-between points. Honestly, deflate the joint too. And then from there. We can work on a tentacle, twisty, weird, lumpy, wrong-looking thing. These bits. There we go. Looking a little better, a little squiggly. And I think cloth sim will help get it the rest of the way. Whoa! That's too much. Control S. Does that help? Nope. There we go. Let's smooth it out just a little bit. Nope, we want it to be a little less drastic. Turn that way down. There we go. Looks better. It's Crow's favorite drink, coffee. Got him. Yeah, that looks decent enough. Then we can do the back legs. Let's inflate. Nope, still need to symmetrize it. There we go. Deflate the bone bit. Probably expand it this way. I can at least pinch in these parts. And make this lumpy too. Need to make it a smaller brush. There we go. Same thing with simulations. Beautiful. Lovely. Look at them weird little goop arms. Beautiful. We're making decent progress. Now we're just gonna have to make him have like weird arms. Although we could work on the bonbon for the hand, and I could just place him down there for when we actually rig him. Actually do that. Gotta bring up the reference image we're gonna use. Don't need you anymore for now, Goofy. Bring that over here. Scale X -1. Make a little cube. Subdivide. Alright. I just use this for the body, and that'll be fine. And then we just need a couple little arms and a head. Should be pretty simple to make. Bring that up. Bring that down. Give him 2 little arms. Gotta mirror it. Lovely. Same thing for the feet. There we go. We just need a head. Oh yeah, that needs to be way thinner. Just a bit of a wide head there. Scale that in, and then maybe make the back wider than the front. Lovely. It still look good from the side. It does. Then we're gonna need ears. Scale that down. Make it a little thinner. There we go. Perfect little rabbit ears. Looks about good. Oh wait, yeah, hold on. There we go. I was a little confused why that wasn't working, but that makes sense. Had a massive edit range. Why is... Oh, okay. There we go. Alrighty. Rotate X, Y. Proportional. Lovely. Alright, now we just need to jumble it all together in sculpt mode. Hello, Bon Bon. Need to smooth it out a bit from here. There he is, at least his body. Look at the goober. Oh boy, that's not what we want. Hold on. There we go, it's Bon Bon Two-Face. He was burned halfway down his body with acid. Very, very... what's the word? What's the word for, like, specific? No, I don't know. You get what I mean, though. He's very, very niche Batman villain. That's what I was looking for. Let's just add a little dot eye for now. Just as a placeholder. We can work on texturing him and all that later. Oh wait, hold on. G, X, scale, X, There we go. Mirror that. It's a little not all there, but you know, is what it is. Alright, that works for now. Probably gonna tweak them a little bit later, but we want to bring them down and at least get scale right. So it's probably gonna be about that size. That looks decent for now. I'll have to make them look like a puppet next time, but we've been going for a little while and I'm starting to lose steam a little bit. So I think I'm gonna call it here. Save that. We can close down Blender now. If I recall, we had something for the last bit of stream from Cryophobia and Goofy. Go to channel. Cryophobia. There we go. My son, Mr. Snoodle. Hell yeah. Give that a like. Look at him. He's beautiful. I'll give that little like. And then from Goofy, go to channel. DJ Doug Dog. Hell yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. You'll love to see it. Alright. I think that's gonna do it for stream today. Appreciate you guys coming out though. We made a decent bit of extra progress. We might revise the arms a little bit. I'm not too sure. But we'll see next time. Definitely gonna get more work done on Bon and his design next time. But other than that, appreciate you guys coming out. I'll see you guys next weekend. Hopefully I'll be able to get more work done on Blender and stuff, but like I said, getting a little more busy with life stuff lately, so it might take a little longer than usual, but at least we have streams every Saturday, so that's good. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate you coming out. Peace.